Smith was a classmate of Buster Murdaugh's. His, of course, notorious father, Alec, just convicted for the murders of his wife, Maggie, and son, Paul. He's serving 2 life sentences. We followed the case closely. So we have to point out there's no evidence. There's no actual evidence that we know of connecting any Murdaugh family member to Smith's death. Investigators say Alec Murdaugh and his brother came to the scene for unknown reasons, though the point has been brought up that they are lawyers who deal with a lot of auto injury claims, and this was presumed to be a hit and run until now. Buster Murdaugh denies having any involvement in Smith's death, despite so many rumors. Smith's mother says she thinks Stephen was beaten to death.
Why and by whom?
That I don't know. That's what I need answers for.
Counselor Bland, is there any working theory?
I think it was a hate crime. I think, Stephen was a very courageous young man to live an openly gay lifestyle in the low country of South Carolina in 2015.
Let's bring in Bernarda Villalona, a seasoned criminal defense attorney and former senior homicide prosecutor in New York. I know you've been following the Murdaugh case, as so many Americans have, and then you think it's over with Alec being sentenced to prison. But now this case, questions have been swirling for many, many years. How did the state come to the conclusion to reopen this case?
So this is a huge game changer, the classification of Stephen Smith's death. So you have to think, unless the case is classified as a homicide, there is no law enforcement investigation. There is no follow-up. There is no inclination in the sense of the prosecution being involved in this or people following up. So you have to think, in terms of this case now being classified as a homicide, something must have come up during the investigation having to deal with Alex Murdaugh and killing the wife and his son. Because according to law enforcement, is that based on that investigation, some information came up having to deal with the death of Stephen Smith. We don't know what it is, but what we do know, the game changer, is that his death is ruled a homicide, and now law enforcement will be involved in investigating to find out who is responsible for killing Stephen Smith.
And it's interesting to note, again, Buster Murdaugh, he does not admit to any guilt. He unequivocally denies any involvement. But they're going to unearth this young man's body after all of these years. In the short term, what would that mean for Buster?
So in terms of the short term, Buster Murdaugh has already came out and said that he had nothing to do with the death of Stephen Smith. Whoever is responsible for the death of Stephen Smith, I am sure that they are now shaking, that they are nervous because they thought that the books were closed on this investigation once it was ruled that it was an accident that he died as a result of. So now people are going to be looking into this. But also to add to it, because of all the news and media coverage of the Alex Murdaugh trial, of Buster Murdaugh, now you have that all eyes are on that town. All eyes are also more inclined to put in phone calls, to call the tip line as to any information you may have about Stephen Smith and what happened to him, that now law enforcement can actually look into it.
Yeah, and perhaps whoever is responsible for killing him would see that with so much attention that the world placed on this South Carolina community, we may find out more than they bargained we would learn. Could technology and evidence prove there was absolutely no foul play and exonerate Buster or anybody else tied to this case? Or could this be a time where the family might never know what happened to Stephen?
It's possible that you may never know what happened to Stephen Smith. You have to think, if this would have been classified as a homicide before, and when we're talking about the passage of time, it's been 8 years because he was killed on July 8th of 2015, that memories fade, evidence disappears. So the passing of time doesn't help an investigation. But what we're hoping for, we got to think that hopefully the phone of Stephen Smith was preserved in the sense that they can do an investigation on the phone. They can do a phone dump, find out where he was the last minutes before he was killed. Who was he talking to? Was he texting? What was he searching? Where was he walking or going to? His whereabouts. This is what classification of a homicide allows you to do, is invest resources do this exact investigation with technology and also at the scene itself and an exhumation of his body to get a more thorough answer as to what was the cause of his death. And hopefully there can also be like a toxicology to determine, was there anything in his system? Could he have been drugged?
Yeah.
There's so many questions that are unanswered because it was ruled an accident and not a homicide. And now you have the resources of law enforcement to be able to conduct those investigations.
Well, at least the family is getting some type of answers, or at least support now, because this case could have just gone on and nobody would have even heard of Stephen Smith's name except for the magnifying glass over this small community. Thank you, Bernarda. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.